Hello dear students, how do you do? Are you enjoying all the classes in all the subjects? Okay, very good morning to all. We'll start today Unit 5 Payment Design. What is payment design? Why it is necessary? What is the significance of designing the payment? Suppose you take Kopargam itself. Until unless the present soil is excavated and compacted to achieve the dry density, it is not possible to take the load. That you can see by pressing with your palm itself. If it is soft, then naturally your slipper will penetrate into the soil. At the same time, the same location, if you compact it and then put your palm with slippers will not penetrate. Means until unless it is properly compacted to obtain the dry density, it cannot sustain even small magnitude of load. This is to understand the concept. Just by compacting it will not be over. Subgrade will be prepared well first and obtain dry density in the field, and then furthermore layers also are required to be designed by making use of different size of aggregates. They are required to be laid, spread, and then it has to be compacted, so that the flexible payment, what we call, consists of different layers such as soil subgrade, then subbase course, then base course, ultimately surface course or wearing course. In between, in order to bond these courses, we used to provide prime coat, tack coat, and seal coat. Seal coat is the topmost or the surface layer it is to be done, so that all the voids or interstices which are present on the surface will be filled by this sealing coat. Thereby there will not be any scope for the water to get penetrate into the pavement, because always each layer of the flexible pavement and the subgrade should be kept dry always. There should not be any water entry either to the soil subgrade or from the soil subgrade. Even water from subsurface can come up due to capillary rise. Why capillary rise takes place? Because whatever the pores or voids present in the soil subgrade, even after compaction, water can easily come through these pores. So whenever the water comes out or flows through these pores and comes out of the subsurface, is nothing but known as capillary rise. Naturally, when soil subgrade and other layers come in contact with water, it loses its strength. Thereby, whatever the load you apply, that cannot be sustained. Cracks will be formed, potholes will be formed in the form of big depression that you can see in Kopargam itself, in front of our college. Can we consider that as a road? When we are moving with vehicle, either pedal cycle or car or scooter, dance kartat. We will be dancing there on the road. Are you not? Have you not felt it? Right now, if you want to see, you are not able to come to college. At least now they have started excavated and they are putting physical dividers and they are constructing the road with bituminous concrete in about 6 months time perhaps, because bridges have not been widened. Culverts have got already widened. Physical divider takla hai. Thereby you will get a good road. That is the importance or significance of pavement design. Until unless we design the pavement with different layers for flexible pavement, and if we do not design the pavement for rigid pavement, that is cement concrete pavement. So this is the classification or types of pavements, right? So before we go in detail, further PPTs, just there are some photographs. You can watch clearly. They are under construction. The middle one is already constructed, cement concrete road. Whereas this one is bituminous concrete road. This is cement concrete road. This is also under construction. You can see halfway through. with pavers. Here there are roller and tractor or tipper which is carrying the material for construction. Okay. What is payment? Whatever I have told, just it is printed here. A structure consisting of superimposed layers of superimposed layers. Processed materials above the natural soil subgrade whose primary function is to distribute the applied vehicle loads to the subgrade and then ultimately to the earth's crust. So, in order to get this function, it is properly designed and constructed. Types of payment, as I already mentioned, flexible payment, rigid payment. What is flexible payment? These are those which on a whole have low or negligible flexural strength, rather flexible in their structural action under the load. That means rigid payments do possess flexural strength of at least 40 kg per centimeter squared, kg per square centimeters, whereas flexible payment do not possess any flexural strength. That is the reason why it is flexible in their structural action. For example, I will write two figures, write simple figures. Afterwards we will see the printed figure. Suppose this is the soil subgrade, this is the subbase course, this is the base course, this is the wearing course, right? This is wearing course, WC, this is base course, say BC, this is subbase course, say SBC, this is soil subgrade, SG, right? Clear? Now, if at all any failure takes place here in the form of depression, for example, I will take another color pen, another color, you yourself will appreciate to understand this. Suppose there is some depression caused due to heavy load traffic. The same depression will be reflected here, and ultimately will be reflected here at the surface course. Whereas in case of rigid payment, I will change the color for this hatching and all. If at all we want, we can provide subbase or without subbase. In developing countries, they will not provide for rigid payment, subbase or base course. Subbase course or base course. Either you can provide SBC or BC here, over which a cement concrete slab as a wearing course, CC slab, without any reinforcement will be laid, concreted. Because of this, whenever the application of load, say W or P, I will change the color of the pen, उल्टा करता हूँ अभी, लाल color use करता हूँ. If at all any depression takes place here, as in case of flexible payment, whereas in the rigid payment, these depressions which are occurred at the subgrade level will not be reflected here, will not be reflected onto the surface. If at all there could be some variation here because it is subbase or base course, but it will not enter into the cement concrete slab, and ultimately that will not be reflected on the surface. That is the most advantage or more advantage. Thereby, technically, it is very strong. This is weak with respect to structural action. This is the structural action between flexible payment and rigid payment. Therefore, the life period of this is very high, at least 50 years. 50 years. This is hardly 15 to 20 years maximum, provided the two, if it is constructed with proper quality and good quality of material and with proper execution during the construction work or laying down the flexible payment. Then only it can sustain and it can serve the purpose for 15 to 20 years design period. Whereas this also, rigid payment also, however, but still it can sustain for a longer period as per the design period to be met with. The quality control and execution here also must be Same. Suppose example in Kopargam itself, just 4 or 5 years back, opposite to bus stand, they were constructing rigid payment. अभी भी है, full crack हो गया. Actually, the concrete quality which they were using during laying down the concrete slab was so poor. Within an year, it started cracking and surface course was becoming very rough. It was not at all smooth. How a concrete slab or concrete road surface course should be? It should be very, very smooth. Can you see that smoothness there? No, because of improper material or lower qualities of material. Not only that, mix which they have used is very poor. Nothing can be done. That is beyond our scope to discuss in this class. Okay, but I have given the practical example that is in front of our eyes where we are staying. Why should we go to some other places, udhar aisa, idhar aisa? We should not say. When it is available in front of our eyes. Okay, that is about flexible payment and rigid payment differences. Now, let us start with only flexible payment first. Few, for example, factors governing, they are common for both flexible and rigid. However, in case of flexible payment, the load transfer is the load distribution. Suppose this is the wheel load W or P. In some books, they used to take for load P in tons, whereas in some other textbooks or authors, they used to take the symbol capital W as the total weight coming because of the traffic vehicle on the road in tons. So when it is applied on the flexible pavement, what would be the maximum stress at the contact between the tire of the vehicle and the pavement surface? It is maximum. Stress will be maximum. Whereas after it is transferred in the form of a truncated cone, what must be the stress at this level? Stress will become, yes, minimum. Why? Why minimum? Because the area upon which the load is acting is very, very less. Point load, for example, means whole load is applied on small area. That's why the stress is more. Whereas here, area sufficiently larger. So whatever the W divided by area will be the stress. That means at here, A is more, whereas at the surface, area is very less. Here it is less, here it is more. Therefore, stress is less and stress is more. Okay? Simple understanding. Now, load transfer continued. That means the wheel load acting on the pavement will be distributed to a wider area. Whatever I told, that has been shown here and it is explained here. You can zoom this photo figure and you can read you yourself. I have already explained everything. What happened to this? Okay. Now, typical layers of flexible pavement. I already told. But just I will zoom it. I need not have to read those. I will explain along with the sketch itself. Okay. Sketch is important. For me, written material is not important. While studying, you yourself read all those sentences. Whatever they are printed, I will let you know. You see, starting from natural subgrade, then you have to compact the subgrade about 150 to 300 mm. This is the compacted subgrade. Usually we hatch it in order to show that it is ground with natural soil, and then it is compacted to obtain maximum dry density. Dry density you have to obtain. Then a sub-base course of specified size by IRC the size should be used. Usually we go for larger sizes, say 40 to 60 mm. 40 to 60 mm. Base course, say 25 to 40 mm. Binder course and surface course. Between binder course and base course there is a prime coat. Between surface course and binder course there is a tack coat. And between surface course, or I do not wish to say that, at the surface course there will be tack coat. The seal coat, the seal coat, tack coat and prime coat are used just for the purpose of providing good bondage between the two successive layers. Please understand. These three coats, prime coat, tack coat, seal coat. Prime coat, tack coat, seal coat. Seal coat at the topmost layer, that is surface course. In between binder and the surface, tack coat. In between binder and base course, prime coat. These are provided to get the bondage between these two successive layers, so that the action, structural action of transfer of load will become more effective. Okay? That's all about that has been printed there. That you yourself write. Typical layers of flexible pavement I have already told. I have already explained. Okay, but still, sub-base course, furthermore, the primary functions are to provide structural support, 1, improve drainage, to reduce the intrusion of fines from the subgrade in the pavement structure. That means the finer particles should not penetrate into the subgrade. In such a way, the layer is to be compacted, and specified size of aggregates only should be used at the bottommost course. Subgrade, the topsoil or subgrade is a layer of natural soil prepared to receive the stresses from the layers above. Now, factors affecting the pavement design. This is common for both flexible pavement and as well as rigid pavement. Irrespective of the type of pavement, it is common. This will continue in the next class, please. Okay? Thank you. Have a good day. We will stop here for today and we will continue in the next class from factors.